What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Derrick with Superbike Life, or ESBKLife for short. About this time last year, I did a 2017 My Rides. My brother brought all his bikes out to Phoenix, and we did a whole video on what we're riding. Welcome to my channel. I've been recording, or had my channel up now for a couple of months, and I figured it's about time that I show you guys the bikes that we're riding. Well, things have changed in the last year, and I'm out in New England. And I figured we'd do a 2018 My Ride. So let's show you what we're riding right after this. Welcome back, guys. And all I have to say is, oh my God. Look at these bikes. It doesn't matter if you love Italian bikes, Japanese bikes, whatever, European bikes. If you love motorcycles, you love this video. You have to appreciate what we are looking at here. We are talking the cream of the crop of motorcycles, of sport bikes, of three-wheel Can-Ams, even of dirt bikes. My brother and I are truly fortunate, but don't get it twisted. We are not a bunch of rich pricks. We actually earned these. We worked our behind off. We both worked 9 to 5s. So this is just the fruits of our extremely hard labor. But anyway, let's go through these one by one. We'll fire each of them up, and I'll tell you what we've done, who they belong to, and so forth. So we'll start over here on my 2011 BMW S1000 RR. This was my dedicated track bike. You guys have seen this bike before. It was a street bike about a year ago. We completely changed it. CRG levers, RNG sliders. As the sun kicks up on me. We got Giamoto rear sets, SC Project, slip-on exhaust. We have Alpha Racing, keyless ignition system. A whole lot of stuff done to this bike. I really love it. It is fast as you know what. But I love this thing. But we will start it up. We got my keyless switch over here. So we'll flick that. And then hit the button. Sounds good. I cannot wait to get this back to Phoenix and get it on the track, see how she does. Next up, and you guys again got a bike that you should be extremely familiar with. It's my 2014 MV Agusta F3 800 EAS. So EAS is for the electronic quick shift or shift assist or something along those lines. This bike doesn't have a whole lot of aftermarket goodies, but it does have a few. And this bike replaced my 1199. I had a 2012 Ducati 1199 Panigale, and I sold that bike and picked up this one just because I wanted a smaller displacement bike. But we have Litec rear sets on this. We have some aftermarket clip-ons, our CRG bar and mirrors, our RNG block-off plates. We have HIDs on this bike, a nice blue color. But beyond that, this bike is fairly stock. It does have a modified stock exhaust. Yes, you heard me say that right. Modified stock exhaust. So we cut the triple, or the previous owner, cut the trumpets off here, welded in, and ran the 3 exit ports out the right side of the belly pan. Has a nice sound to it, but it's a little drony for me, so I'm probably going to put an SC Project on there. So let's start this puppy up. Can't argue with the sound there. So I also added this aftermarket Öhlins steering damper. This bike does not come with the steering damper, ironically. Geo and MV felt that if you set this bike up suspension-wise properly, it didn't need one, but a lot of people throw them on there, I'm being one of them. And then you guys should also be familiar with this bike. This is my 2012 MV Agusta F4 RR Corsa Corta. It is a project bike. We are still in the process of building this out and making it as gorgeous as my brother's bike down there, you'll see in a little bit. But this has the Botus titanium slip-on exhaust. We have the AFM rear sets on here. We have integrated tail light, although the tail section hasn't shown up yet. We have a Rapid Bike Evo unit installed on there. We have carbon fiber parts. So we have carbon fiber fairings. We have a carbon fiber upper coming, carbon fiber airbox cover, and a carbon fiber tail section that should be on the way. We also, off camera recently, we added a carbon fiber rear fender. And we have carbon fiber swing arm covers, chain guards, so forth and so on. We have our Design Corsa Performance / Racing water pump, Samco silicone hoses, CNC Racing clutch slave cylinder. We have AFM carbon fiber levers, so clutch and brake, as well as Rizoma fluid reservoirs. And we've done a little bit of work on some other things, but we have a lot more coming on this. But we are going to start this up, and for you guys, I am going to remove the baffles. So there are baffles in there, so we're going to pull those out right now. So that you can really hear this thing at song. So you can get the full appreciation of the Botus exhaust. All right, let's fire up. So we'll let it get warmed up a little bit. Oh my God. I cannot wait till this bike is completely roadworthy and we can get out and ride it. Then we have over here, this is my 2013 Aprilia RSV4 Factory SE. This one is probably going to take me a while to let you go or tell you guys all about all the aftermarket goodies on here. But we have the SE Project CRT exhaust. We have Giamoto rear sets, lathered up in carbon fiber, mostly from Moto Composites. We have our CRG bar end mirrors, Rizoma reservoirs. Good Lord. More carbon fiber on the chain guard, rear fender. We have a custom-made Louis Moto back seat cover, this piece and this piece. You know, there's more stuff on here. I'm sure I'm missing. LED headlights, integrated turn signals in the headlights and the tail lights. This bike is phenomenal, and it sounds absolutely redonkulous. that doesn't sound like a MotoGP bike, I don't know what does. Holy Mother of God. I love this bike. I love this bike. So these 4 bikes are all mine. Like I said, from the 2017 video, the only real change here is that we added the MV F3 800 and got rid of my Ducati Panigale 1199. And we converted my S1000RR to a complete track bike. It's not street legal whatsoever. And I forgot to mention, and Mike over there at Nitron Racing will kill me, but we also have a nice Nitron Racing rear shock on here. That is absolutely phenomenal. This thing is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so now we are going to get into my brother's bikes. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you know that someone bought a new bike. And that person was not me, but this is the new bike. This is my brother's brand new 2018 Aprilia RSV4 RF. This bike has 10 miles on it, and when we picked it up, it had 1 mile on it. He went out and rode it this morning and put the other 9 on it. This bike is cherry, cherry, cherry. There will be a full review of this bike following this video. I'm going to compare it to my bike, my 2013, but my brother says this thing is absolutely bananas. So I can't wait to get on it, take it for a quick spin. The next time we see this bike, well, after I do my review, but the next time we see this bike, it'll have a lot of changes. My brother has a lot of mods planned for this bike, including getting rid of, first of all, this hideous fender and that thing there. Wow, that's got to go quick. But everything, this thing is going to be lathered up in carbon fiber. A lot of things are going to be powder coated, and a number of things are going to be changed, so it's going to look badass. Not that this doesn't look badass now, but it's going to look ridiculous once we see it again. And it'll probably be this winter. It'll be this winter when he comes out to visit, because they get a lot of snow here and I don't get shit. So, but anyway, let's fire this thing up. You gotta love that TFT display, good Lord. 1000cc V4. Öhlins all over the place. That does not sound bad for a stock exhaust. And you guys know my love affection for V4 engines. In my opinion, they are the best motorcycle engines. They are buttery smooth. You get the best of both worlds, meaning you get high revving of the inline fours, as well as that low-end torque and sound of a V-twin. This might possibly be one of the best bikes on the planet, short of the HP4 Race by BMW. That thing is phenomenal. It's probably the best bike on the planet that you can get your hands on. But this is a good one, and I can't wait to ride it. Next up is his 2014 Ducati Panigale 1199R. So this bike hasn't changed a whole lot since we last saw it a year ago. He's added more titanium and a few more carbon bits, but it still sounds bananas. I mean, he has carbon fiber everything on this. He is a fan of matte carbon fiber, where I love the gloss carbon fiber. But regardless, this bike, every nut and bolt you see on here is pretty much titanium. But we got carbon fiber fenders, exhaust covers, engine covers, electrical box panels, battery, and I think that's the ABS cover, rear subframe cover, custom Louis Moto seat, carbon fiber on the rear cowl cover, obviously the aluminum tank, carbon fiber key guards, air intake runners, CRG bar and mirrors, aftermarket clip-ons. We powder coated the Brembo calipers as well as the bottom of the fork stanchions on the Öhlins. We actually, let me get over here on the other side. We powder coated the triple tree as well as the steering stem nut. We powder coated the clip-on clamps as well as the clip-ons themselves. We have Ducati Performance reservoirs. We powder coated everything back here. So the rear suspension adjustment points, the frame, I guess what we would call a frame or bracket, has been powder coated. We have Litec Racing rear sets on it. We powder coated the side stand. That most likely is going to become a carbon fiber one real soon. We saw one up at Seacoast Motorsports, and I got a feeling he's going to buy it. He's just being a wuss, but he's going to buy it. We have CNC Racing clutch slave cylinder. We powder coated the rear shock spring. If you remember, those were yellow by default. A lot of work done on this. We have Rizoma bar and blinkers. Those were new since we last saw this bike about a year ago, but it still sounds absolutely phenomenal, and you cannot deny the TFT display on this bike either. Full Termi race exhaust, not just the slip-ons, but the full headers. And check out this rear brake reservoir, all carbon fiber. Yeah. This bike is gorgeous, very well done. A lot of work has gone into this thing, and it's absolutely beautiful. And to contrast that, here is his 2013 MV Agusta F4RR that has virtually nothing done to it. We have done, well, my wife did the custom seat cover, and he's added a few decals, but beyond that, this bike is stock. If there is an MV fanboy, it's my brother, and he doesn't want to change anything on this bike. I've tried for several years. He doesn't want to change anything, but we're going to start it up and listen to it anyway. You cannot argue with that organ exhaust. It looks sexy as hell. Sounds pretty good for a stock bike, and the bike is beautiful. There's no denying that. It has Öhlins front and rear, electronic Öhlins steering damper, as well as electronic Öhlins forks. It's hard to argue with that, but this bike is absolutely gorgeous. He has added the Design Corsa Performance Racing water pump as well. Again, if you guys follow me, we did a video on this bike when I did on my project bike back there, when I added my Design Corsa water pump. He also has a manual switch up in here that you can't see right now that turns on the fan as well, because we tried a number of things because this bike typically runs super hot. But now that we added that water pump by Design Corsa, it is running spectacularly. Look at that. This is a garage or driveway to behold. Next up, we have my wife's Can-Am Spyder RSS SE5. This bike has not changed a lick since the last time we got it, but it's a nice three-wheeler. It has the Two Brothers Racing exhaust on it with a simulated carbon fiber. It has a Rotax 990 V-twin in it. It sounds pretty badass for a three-wheeler. She loves riding it, although she doesn't ride it a whole lot. But that is a typical V-twin rumble. Look at everything is shaking on the bike. But it is a fun little three-wheeler. This thing has plenty of storage up front. Let me see if I can show that to you real quick. June, turn this key for me real quick. Just push it in and turn it that way. Thank you. So look, you can get 2 helmets in there, a coat, bag, a small child. You got plenty of storage in there. Ultra stable. This would make it for an awesome bike for a starter. If you're someone that's vertically challenged and you're intimidated by motorcycles, this would make for a really, really awesome beginner bike for you. They make this in a manual transmission, so if you didn't want the semi-automatic, you can get it in a manual transmission. You can learn to shift without having the anxiety of falling over. Okay, and last but not least, we will finish up with my brother's 2 dirt bikes. The first one that we're looking at here is a 2017 Troy Lee design KTM 250 SXF 4-stroke. He loves his 2-strokes, and we'll get to that one in a second. But this is his first 4-stroke. This bike is cherry. I'm not sure it's actually been on the dirt yet. But a true KTM fashion, or 4-stroke fashion. Electric start. Carbon fiber FMF exhaust. Work suspension. I love 4-strokes. I love 4-strokes, and if I was still into dirt, this is what I would be riding. And then we have over here his 2013 KTM 250 SX. This is a 2-stroke. This bike has been sitting for almost a year, and he kicked it twice and it started. God damn it, I hate 2-strokes. But this is a sexy ass bike. This bike has seen a lot of trail riding, and I'm gonna ask him to fire it up real quick. So we can hear the 2-stroke.
The smoker.
The smoker. Look at that. 2 kicks. The smoker. So if you love 2-strokes, you love that sound. These are 2 badass dirt bikes, followed by a badass 3-wheeler, followed by the holy grail of European sport bikes. It simply doesn't get any better than this, guys.
So we have every engine configuration you can imagine here.
Exactly. My brother just reminded me that we have all engine configurations here. I mean, we have 2-stroke singles, 4-stroke singles, V-twins, inline 4s, V-twins, V4s, all the way to triples. We have them all here represented. The only European bikes we do not have are Triumphs, KTMs, and Nortons. And I have a feeling, if things continue the way they are, those will be added to our collection. Well, all right, guys, that is a wrap for this 2018 version of My Rides. I am Derek. This is your Superbike Life. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, or smash it if you didn't like it. Either way, until next time, guys, take care.